Local, experienced, trusted. This is East Texas Live at 3.
Hey there, welcome to East Texas Live at 3. I'm your Christmas tree host, James Parker. Welcome back to East Texas Live. So why am I wearing this hideous sweater? I'm glad you asked. This is National Ugly Sweater Day, so I'm just joining in on the holiday. Later this hour, we'll tell you how you can get a discount on a disgusting, ugly sweater just like this, so stick around for that. Well, to start off with, it was a good run from the Chapel Hill Bulldogs as they marched into the state championship title game today for the 4th time in school history, looking for their 3rd state title. But it was not meant to be for Chapel Hill as Anna dominated the game on both sides of the ball. The final score today, 26-0. And listen, there's no criticism or shame though. If you would have asked anyone in all of East Texas back in August if they would have been happy if their team made it to the state finals, 100% would have said they would be ecstatic if that's how their season ended. So despite the tough loss today, congrats on an epic season. Now Gilmer is kicking off right now. This is going to be the last football game for this season in East Texas high school football. So good luck, Gilmer. Yesterday, it was the Malakoff Tigers on the big stage. They faced off against the back-to-back state champions, and it was the Malakoff defense that was the story of the day. They kept Franklin off the scoreboard for most of the game, and that was really all it took. Malakoff was leading 7-0 at half, and then they held on to the lead to win their first state championship in school history. The final on this one yesterday was 14-7. And then the night before that game, the Timpson Bears made history, playing in their first state championship game. And when the dust settled, the Bears brought some hardware back to East Texas, something that was years in the making. KETK's David Gibson takes you to that moment.
I know how I'm feeling. I'm feeling straight like money, but you already know what's going on, though.
As the final seconds ticked off the clock, you could see the years of dedication pay off for this senior-heavy Bears team, something they said means the world to them.
Hey, I feel amazing. First in history, especially with the guys, bro. My cousins, everybody, they feel amazing.
It means a lot bringing it back for this community. Everybody up there is just excited as we are. It's just truly a blessing.
Just after 3 long years, we finally did it, and I started to cry. Started going to my coaches, my teammates. It was just a happy feeling. It was like a dream.
From the start, you could tell the Bears wanted this game as they dominated the Rattlers on both sides of the ball and sweeping the offense and defensive players of the game.
It means a lot. All my hard work I've done, all the effort, all the trials and tribulations that happened just finally paid off.
After 38 years of coaching, head coach Kerry Thurwinger says this is a storybook ending to a perfect 16-0 season and sending these 18 seniors out on top.
Fantastic. That's a memory they'll have when they're my age plus, and nobody can take it away from them. They've earned it. It's about making memories for those guys, and they made a great one tonight.
As they close the final chapter of this remarkable story, the Bears are grateful for all the support from the city of Timpson and the surrounding community.
Of course, amazing. You can see by the fans, they're amazing. They've been giving us hope and joy the whole year. Get through it.
They come out and show out every week, week in and week out, so having them on our side is truly amazing.
Just look at them. That's everybody in town plus some, so it means the world to these kids in this community.
David Gibson, KTK Sports.
Congrats, Timpson. All right, the Smith County Animal Shelter is hosting a free adoption event. They're calling it a Whoville Grinchmas. So that's tomorrow from 10 to 2. You can adopt a dog for free and talk to the Grinch. So right now there's 59 dogs and 25 puppies in the shelter who need homes. Adoptions are free on Saturday, but throughout the month, adoption fees will only cost $12 for the 12 strays of Christmas or of Grinchmas, and each dog adopted comes with a voucher to pay for spay or neuter costs. And if you need a new book to read, there's a big sale happening right now at Tyler's Public Library. It's the 3-day winter book sale. It just started yesterday and it will end tomorrow. But during this time, hardback books are $2, paperbacks are just $1, and children's picture books are 50 cents. But there's a $5 minimum purchase for all card sales. For more information on that sale, go to our website, ketk.com. And in Longview, the balloon capital of Texas, people gathered yesterday to celebrate Christmas with a balloon glow for the entire community. I love these things. KTK's Ashlyn Anderson shows us how they lit up the sky with holiday cheer.
A new holiday tradition shining bright Thursday night in Longview. As it got closer to glow time,
ready to see these things go up in the air.
Local pilots powered up the fans and turned up the heat, welcoming hundreds of families to the 2023 Longview Christmas Balloon Glow.
Yeah, she's gonna heat it up.
That'll be pretty cool. Dr. Bill Bussey with Balloon Adventures has put this event on for the last 7 years.
We just like to give back to the community because they're so helpful for us.
Not only when you come to the event, you can look at the hot air balloon from the outside, but you can also walk inside the hot air balloon.
When you see the kids' faces, that's what I hope to get. They have a big old smile on their face.
To bring in the Christmas cheer, Santa and Mrs. Claus were in East Texas all the way from the North Pole to hear what you want for Christmas.
It's going to be a pretty good event out here. Glad to see the community get together and enjoy on this chilly night.
As an early gift, Santa's elves gave those on the nice list a present.
Hundreds and hundreds of children. We have gifts for right at 500 children.
Putting Christmas spirit in the air and lighting up the sky. Ashlyn Anderson, KTK News.
Ooh, that makes pretty video. Is your Christmas tree making you cough and sneeze? Since real and artificial trees can carry things like dust and mold, you could be experiencing Christmas tree syndrome. Yeah, that's a thing now. Although being allergic to pine trees is relatively uncommon, there could be other allergens lurking. Real trees can hold pollen and mold. Even taking in the comforting pine smell can irritate your sinuses and lungs due to the chemical compounds present. If your family goes the artificial route, allergens like dust and mold can still build up on the tree in storage. So if the tree is already up and you're noticing your allergies worsen, getting an air purifier as well as traditional allergy medicines might help.
For symptom management, things like over-the-counter nasal steroids, nasal antihistamines, or oral antihistamines can help with some of those symptoms.
He also adds it's probably best to get rid of real trees soon after the holiday, since mold can continue to grow once they're indoors. Artificial trees and other holiday decorations should be stored in an airtight container to help keep them clean. Amazon is working to start replacing workers with robots in warehouses as early as 2024. Jacob Ward has more on the new technology.
Before now, robots could only replace part of a human job, enough to make coffee or an omelet. But this is Digit, a robot its makers say is ready to do what human warehouse workers do.
It can lift about 35 pounds. You know, the robot weighs about what a person would weigh. It can reach about the size of what a person can reach. You know, we're really going for that kind of like OSHA regulations and requirements for the robot.
Agility Robotics is funded in part by Amazon, which is investing $1 billion in new industrial technologies. Amazon has already started testing Digit in its Seattle Robotics Research and Development Facility, potentially adding to the company's fleet of more than 750,000 robots. And the company's investors have big ambitions for them.
The fact that it can enter places that were designed for humans and solve those challenges that exist without having to rebuild the environment for automation.
And it doesn't quit.
And it doesn't quit.
They're about $250,000, so they're not inexpensive. But, you know, over just a few years, they're worth it.
As of 2022, Amazon employed about 36% of warehouse workers in the U.S., a workforce that often complains about the injury risk of working to get packages to customers in 2 days or less, according to OSHA. Amazon says the safety of its employees is its top priority.
I just really feel this is Amazon's attempt to focus their attention away from those of us that have been injured and are fighting to get medical care and fair wages and safer working conditions. I wish they would spend their money in just making it a safer place to work for the rest of us, you know, those of us that need jobs and need a paycheck, you know, rather than coming up with technology that could push some of us out the door.
Digit, company backers say, changes the game for any logistics company.
This robot doesn't need to go home and see his family, doesn't need healthcare benefits, doesn't need retraining when you change the process and how it works, and you don't have to worry about turnover and injuries and those types of things.
So considering all those things, $250,000 is sort of a bargain.
It kind of pays for itself if you think of it as 2 or 3 shifts.
But what does it mean for workers if a robot does the job?
I don't think we can expect the free market to ensure that those workers are going to land in good quality jobs. We are going to need some kind of intervention. It is often necessary for government to intervene, particularly with respect to job training. Employers very rarely take on the responsibility for training workers who are not going to remain in that employer's workplace.
Agility is also planning to open RoboFab, a soon-to-be 70,000 square foot facility in Salem, Oregon, with the potential to pump out 10,000 bots a year.
Right now, Digit is multi-purpose in that we come in and program the same robot with no changes to do a bunch of different workflows in a relatively constrained set of environments. But, rapidly it's going to start doing more and more things in the world.
Yeah, and this is how Terminator started? All right, an iconic animated character will soon be property of the public, sort of. The earliest image of Mickey Mouse from the 1928 Steamboat Willie short. This is the basis of all our copyright law, people. This is now going to be public domain next year with some restrictions. U.S. laws allow copyrights to now be held for 95 years. It was much shorter than that when we started out, just kept getting stretched because of this guy on your screen. Artists will be able to use the Disney icon in their work, but only in his more rat-like form from the short film, as more modern iterations remain under copyright. The company says the loss of the copyright on Steamboat Willie will not change the character's impact on Disney's brand. Well, planning on doing some last-minute Christmas shopping this year. You won't be the only one. According to a survey from the National Retail Federation, nearly 142 million people plan to do some kind of shopping on Super Saturday. Well, what's Super Saturday? It's the last Saturday before Christmas, and this year it falls on December 23rd. The survey notes 37% of shoppers expect to make their purchases in stores, while 22% say they will do their shopping solely online. 41% of those surveyed say they will take advantage of both options. And over 100 people lined up outside a North Carolina shoe store for the release of Nike shoes. Joseph Holloway has more on the frenzy and why it came at the perfect time.
As you can see, this is the green pair right here. Really dope.
It was a line of about 200 people waiting to get their hands on the new Nike SB Powerpuff Girls collaboration shoes.
We got a blue and a pink. Size 12, man, size 12.
Matake Wiggins was one of the first people in line, getting here at 1 a.m., and he watched that line grow down the street.
I was surprised, but I wasn't at the same time.
We got here at 5, and there was probably already 150 people.
Apex Outfitter owner Kyle Dennis says they sold out of nearly 100 shoes in about an hour. The sale came at the right time, as Dennis says holiday business wasn't booming like he had hoped.
We've had a softer holiday season than I feel like normally, but this morning definitely caught us up.
Caleb Griffin also plans on making money because he's reselling the shoes, something several people here say they plan to do.
So you can make like over $10,000 a month if you really like a real seller. You gotta be a real seller though.
Man, but it's still sneakers, right? It's not like they're Red Bottoms or Jimmy Choo or Ferragamo. It's Nike Dunks, whatever. All right, Prince Harry won his phone hacking lawsuit against the publisher of the Daily Mirror and was awarded over £140,000, which I think that's $180,000 or so. But this was the first of several lawsuits. Usually I brush these things off. This one's kind of important because this is Prince Harry against the tabloids going to trial. The Duke of Sussex was seeking more than £400,000 as part of his crusade against the British media as he blocked his family's long-standing aversion to litigation by becoming the first senior member of the royal family to testify in court in over a century. And Prince Harry, testified in June that Mirror Group newspapers had employed journalists who eavesdropped on voicemails and hired private investigators to use deception and unlawful means to learn about him and other family members. On the good news side, it was an emotional morning for one teacher in Florida who received an early Christmas. Take a look.
This year, one mother's Christmas wish arrived early. But before that, Private First Class Daniel Burns arrived at Albany International Airport. His father, Brian, was there to meet him with smiles and a scheme to surprise Daniel's mother. Daniel just finished boot camp and is looking forward to spending the holidays at home. Their first stop? Pediatric neurology, the office where mom Kathy works. Our cameras were rolling as Daniel and Brian made it to the break room for the emotional reunion.
Hi there.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, great. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I got an early flight.
Kathy thought Daniel may not make it home for the holidays.
Super excited. I just am elated to have him home.
And today was a roller coaster of emotions.
You jerk. So you knew when you called me last night?
And the night before. And the night before. And the night before that.
You lied to me. You lied to me. You lied to your mother.
But I think Kathy will forgive him for this fib. Daniel says he didn't want to get her hopes up in case his time off wasn't approved and thought surprising her would be the best option.
I'm as gullible as they come, so it's kind of easy to surprise me, and he knows that after 30 years. So.
And I knew Kathy would be super excited, just happy that he was coming home, but also had to be disappointed that he wasn't coming home, because that's what we were talking about the entire time.
What is Daniel looking forward to the most?
Honestly, I'm just happy to sleep in my own bed again. Stuart's milkshake would not be bad. But honestly, getting to hang out with my friends and family again after 6 months of being away is going to be amazing. I've missed them like crazy.
He may also try to surprise his family and friends, if they aren't watching this right now.
Well, I think they just ruined it because they're probably watching East Texas Live, right? Well, coming up next on East Texas Live at 3, we're headed to Florida and inside a fudge factory that's infused with the scent of minty candy canes. Stay with us.